Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Koi back again with another video, and as you can see I'm dressing up a little bit today for no reason. I just like wearing suits so that I look more important than I actually am. I recently asked a question on YouTube community which offers me some real insight into how most of my audience think. I asked the question of, is a girl forever taken by the first guy whom she loses her virginity to? And what did the majority of people say? Well, the majority thinks that no, she's not taken by the first guy whom she loses her virginity to. Why is this? I don't really get a lot of comments to really study this experiment, really form a conclusion out of this poll, so to speak. But someone commented that a girl isn't really taken by a guy. She's only borrowed until the next best option comes along. And for this, I have to somewhat agree. A lot of girls, they date up, they are hypergamous by nature. This is what the red pill community gives us. It gives us the insight into how a lot of women function in society. If you think about your own life, think about the girls in your own life. When you were in high school, right? When you were 15, 16 years old, and you see a girl in your class, and she has a boyfriend, very usually it's the top guy in the year group, the guy who is probably the best at athletics, or maybe it's a guy from the year up, the senior. Maybe it was a girl who was in grade 10 who dated a guy in grade 12. This is something that is biological. This is something that we have evolved with. Women are very good at selecting mates, as in they only want to date the best of the best. And I'm okay with this. It makes sense. It makes sense for the survival of our species that we need competent parents. We need the best genes from the best male and the best female, right? This is how you can ensure that your offspring will be healthy and can function well in this society. But to say that a girl isn't forever taken by the first guy whom she loses her virginity to is probably incomplete, because I think that when you look at the girls around you whom have lost their virginity at a young age to a man, maybe, you will very often find that woman going back to that same guy or trying to replicate that same relationship again. I know this because a lot of my female friends back in high school, when, this is just my observations, okay? I might be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. But I noticed that a lot of them whom lose their virginity at a young age, I don't know this for sure, I just assume, okay? I just assume that the guys she dated, they had sex. I just assume, this is an assumption, I have to admit, I don't know the full answer, but this is what I have observed. A lot of the girls who get into relationships when they were in high school with these guys, these kinds of guys who aren't really the best partner, let's put it that way. They aren't really complete people, as in like they're not fully matured. A lot of these guys, they are terrible people. Let's put it that way. They don't treat her very well. Um, they don't give her a lot of attention. They are only after one thing, and we all know it's sex. When you're young, your brain is not fully developed. We all know that. But also, the fact that these people were in a relationship purely for sex, um, this can really distort their perception on the other person and on the relationship as a whole. When you get in a relationship at a young age, especially, and your relationship is centered around sex, you will very quickly find out that in the later years, towards the end of the relationship, when you break up, there wasn't a lot. Um, there wasn't a lot to think about because you guys aren't really vetting each other and courting each other so that one day you might become soulmates, people whom you will stay with for the long term. You guys are just there for sex. You can see, and you will see this as well. The girl that got cheated on or being broken up with, or the girls who ended things with those sort of guys, she very quickly jumped back in another relationship with another guy who very much resembles the previous guy. If he was indifferent, if he doesn't give a lot of attention to her, if he doesn't really care about her interests, what she stands for, what her values are, he's just there for sex basically. It's very likely that she's gonna replicate that. She's gonna find another guy with those same characteristics. And that's why I think Freud is probably right on this one. Freud said that a girl's relationship with her father has a lot to say about her selection in partners. If you have a dad that is absent, a dad who rarely was at home, a dad who is abusive, then you're very likely gonna seek out a partner that has the same qualities. You're forever taken by your father. And I'm not saying this like what you guys are thinking, like her dad didn't take her virginity. No, I'm saying the guy whom has a first major impact on a woman very likely has taken her soul. It sounds very dark, but the more I observe the women around me, the more I realize how true this is. It only affirms my belief further. And this can go the other way as well. When a guy gets in a relationship with a woman for the first time and they have sex, I think in some sense you're taken by that woman as well. I can only speak from my own experience because I only have a sample size of one, but for me, I think I'm forever taken by the first girl whom I lose my virginity to. The girl from Tinder whom I will not disclose her name. I feel like I have a bond to her, and even though we are not meant for each other, it pains me that I have engaged in this meaningless behavior, and now I am suffering the consequences of this meaningless hookup. It was not a relationship that is meant to last, and it pains me. It pains me when I lose another person in my life. I know I will not be with this woman, but yet I've shared myself with her. I've shared my body with her. And this is meant to be a very intimate thing, reserved for husbands and wife, people whom you are bonded together for life. And yeah, it's painful, man. It's very painful for me. I don't know about you guys, but once you've opened your eyes, you will realize that you're damaging yourself, you're damaging your soul by engaging in meaningless hookups. And that's why I believe in religion. No sex before marriage. This is not about controlling people and exerting authority over the people and having control over them. This is not about it. This is not anyone's agenda. This is not the politicians trying to control us or any authoritative figures trying to essentially restrict your freedom. No, it's not about that. The Bible gives us a guide on life. No sex before marriage. It is not to say that you cannot ever have sex. It is a guide to lead you on the correct path to fulfillment. Because when your focus is on sex in a relationship, that relationship is not going to last. And why no sex before marriage? Because sex, like a lot of pleasurable activities, will cloud your judgment. And when you're dating this girl, I've known people who've dated each other for like 10 years, 5 years, and then they ended up breaking up with each other because they are not right for each other. And yet they still stayed in this same relationship. They still tolerated each other's because they get to have sex. And don't get me wrong, sex is amazing. I've experienced it, and I can now tell you that it's very pleasurable, but only in the short term. Right now, I am suffering tremendously, and words cannot express how empty I feel, how lost I feel. I feel like I've lost a part of my soul. I've lost another person's soul. I've led another soul astray. I think no sex before marriage is the right way to go. When God sends you a woman, you need to make sure you're both on the same page. You need to make sure both of you are compatible for each other and that you will stay together until death do us apart. She's your helper. She's your soulmate. She's not just someone for you to have sex with and then, I don't know, and then see her next week, or I don't know. You guys aren't made for just having sex with each other. You guys are meant to build a family together. Marriage is sacred. It's a covenant between you, your wife, and God. It is the continuation of our species. Strong nuclear families are what make our society stable. We need strong families, strong parents. Infidelity is the result of the breaking down of the family unit, where people neglect the importance of families in society and they start to believe in this individualism. A mere person cannot do what a strong community can. That's all I got to say for today. I hope you're doing extremely well out there. I'll be praying for you all. Not because I am better than you, or that I condemn you, or that you are a lesser of a being than me. We are all sinners. We all fall short. But God is all loving. God is all good. God didn't create evil. Evil came into this world because Satan abused his intelligence. He wants to exercise authority over souls. He planted the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden. And God explicitly told Adam not to eat the fruit of that tree. God didn't make evil. God didn't create hell. Hell is the separation from God. And hell came about, and sin came into this world because of Satan. Allahu Akbar. God bless. And I'll see you next time.